In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. Now the earth was unformed and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. At some point, God said, "Let there be light." And some 5,000 or 6,000 years later, on a cold February night in 1978, Eujs was born. Sensing a void in student activism, a group of 150 Jewish students in Grenoble, France, developed a vision for a new brand of student activism. They called it the European Union of Jewish Students, and it was good. European. From the Irish coastline in the west to the Russian Ural Mountains in the east, as far as Tampere in the north and Athens in the south, and including spectacular Istanbul, Eujs covers 34 different countries and a plethora of languages, cultures, and customs. Union. Students from all of these diverse communities, all coming together under one umbrella organization to fight injustice, give a voice to the voiceless, focus on similarities instead of differences, celebrate humanity, and ensure Jewish continuity on the European continent. Jewish. Bringing together young people of Jewish heritage from all levels of religiosity and spirituality, Eujs strives to include every facet of Jewish life on the continent. Students. Thousands of young people from all walks of life, experts in training in every field imaginable, have been joining together for 30 years to be not just the hope of tomorrow, but the leaders of today. The story of the European Union of Jewish Students is not only a story of an organization that has always been ahead of its time, but also of a union of individuals, myriad personal identities, nationalities, languages, and cultures, all interlinked by a common bond of Judaism and Jewish identity. For those that have passed through its doors, whether as participants, as staff, or merely as observers, Eujs has become a rite of passage, contributing almost as much to the individual as the individual contributes to the union. It is precisely this bond between the individual and the community that will sustain the telltale enthusiasm and vitality that has come to define Eujs. And where better to celebrate Jewish continuity than at the 25th anniversary of Summer University? Held for the first time in 1983, in the United Kingdom, Summer U is the largest annual Jewish event to occur in Europe. A unique combination of Jewish intellectual and educational workshops, and of course, vacationing in style. Summer U has forged innumerable friendships, and even a few lifelong loves. Whether in Spain or Croatia, Greece or Hungary, over 25 years, Summer U has brought together students and young professionals from different countries across Europe and the world for a week of study and friendship, expanding more rapidly than any of its political counterparts. We are activists, we are politicians, we are leaders. It is with this voice that the European Union of Jewish Students has come to be known, organizing to give voices to those who have been silenced, demonstrating against injustice, reaching across cultural and political divides to create unity and understanding. This is Eujs. In 1982, Eujs extended its hand to Budapest, to Jewish students behind the Iron Curtain. In 1985, we demonstrated against the visit of Ronald Reagan and Helmut Kohl to the Bitburg Cemetery. In 1987, we protested the reception of the Austrian president and former Nazi by Pope John Paul II. In 1989, in conjunction with several Holocaust survivors, Eujs occupied the Sablon Catholic Cathedral in Brussels, in protest of the denial by the Vatican of our campaign on the Catholic Carmelite convent in Auschwitz. In 1992, Jewish students from all across Europe mobilized in humanitarian action with the guidance of Eujs to collect clothing for the refugees of the former Yugoslavia. In 2001, delegates from Eujs stood witness to and protested the disastrous World Conference Against Racism in Durban, where hundreds of NGOs trampled on the fundamental values of the United Nations and on the principles of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. In 2006, we organized a groundbreaking trip to Rwanda as part of the Eujs campaign, Shared Memories, Collective Action. This mission gathered third-generation Jewish Holocaust survivors and first-generation Tutsi genocide survivors to bridge cultural boundaries and fight genocide denial. Also in 2006, Eujs earned accreditation to the United Nations, and to this day we remain the only Jewish youth organization accredited to the UN. Whether for oppressed peoples around the world or for our own rights as Jews in a culturally divisive Europe, We continue to stand up for what we know is right, as a group and as individuals. The European Union of Jewish Students shows the world, our communities, and ourselves that the power of youth and promise of continuity should never be underestimated. After our first 30 years of student activism, we are celebrating the future of Jewish student activism, and the future of Jewish continuity and life on the European continent. Eujs, its member unions, and Summer University revolve around the spirit of unity and common experience, the activism and the pluralistic harmony of youth. Above all else, Eujs revolves around you.
We love Eujs!